What's good, peace? Welcome to this video, Astrology Simplified. So pretty much, guys, obviously I'm going to be breaking down some things about astrology, and then I'm going to be breaking down pretty much what astrology entails. And astrology, if you guys didn't know, it is planet based. So that's why I have at the top, if the planets were people or actors. And I also put at the bottom that the zodiac signs are pretty much the roles that these planets have to play out. Alright, so pretty much we're just going to break down like what these planets mean throughout this series, so just stay tuned for each of the videos. You know how people are like, oh, what's your zodiac sign? They're talking about the sun. What is the greatest focal point of your life? Like, what's your purpose of being here? That's why people be like, what's your zodiac sign? They want to know your purpose. What's the reason for being on Earth? Like, what is your greatest focus? What's your focal point? Like, where your head really at? Where your conscious mind at? What's your confidence look like? Because the fifth house, or the sun, because the sun rules over the fifth house and it rules over the zodiac sign Leo, it displays the type of courage that you contain. It displays the type of vigor, like the type of raw, unbridled passion that you have. Like, you at your hottest core, because that's what the sun represents. So wherever the sun was at the time of your birth, that will tell you where your greatest strength lies. That will tell you like what your sole purpose is in this lifetime right now. That'll tell you deeper aspects about what it is that you truly came here to accomplish and what it is that you want to be famous for. Because you got to think about the energy of the sun. It sits in the sky alone for all to see. Like, you cannot hide this energy. You can't do anything but marvel at it. You can't do anything but gaze and look at it and it be a spectacle. And you got to think about what the sun is responsible for. It's responsible for the light that comes to this planet. It's responsible for the earth even being generated with some type of electrical energy, because the sun is where we even get our source of electricity from. So whatever sign you have the sun is, that will tell you like where your life force energy is focused at. Like, what area of life did you come here to shine or radiate yourself in? Like, what is your deepest, most erotic dream that you have to fulfill, that you have to accomplish? That's what the sun represents. You also got to think about like what the sun does for us on a daily basis. Well, it gives light to the planet, so it allows us to be able to see the path before us. It gives us some type of image or vision. The sun gives us clarity, and it allows us to be able to maneuver easily because of the vision that we now have. So whatever sign that you have the sun is, that'll tell you the type of vision that you have. So it'll pretty much tell you the lens in which you are viewing the world. Now, this is where it gets on the intuitive end or the psychic end, because fire is representative of your soul energy. So you're viewing life from a higher point of view whenever you're looking at the sun sign. So whatever sign that you have the sun in, it will tell you how your intuition plays out, what your inner vision is telling you about certain circumstances. And so because fire is a masculine element, it's only going to represent a little bit of intuition, because intuition pertains to something that is a feminine aspect. But because the sun is acting in an intuitive manner, it's going to be a quick version of that intuition. So with the sun, the type of intuition that it relays things to you in quick bursts. It relays things to you in quick visions. Now with water signs, they take a little bit more time to receive messages, because you got to understand that water is the opposite of fire. So whereas fire is fast, water is slowed down. Like, fire is moving so fast and so quick that you can't even touch it or stay in its presence too long because of how intense and how radioactive it is. So like, water energy is much more nurturing and calming, and it's more receptive. So water signs intuition, it'll slow things down and it'll show things in much more detail because it doesn't move so quickly. When we talk about astrology and we talk about zodiac signs, we're literally just talking about different constellations. So we have 12 zodiac signs, so therefore we have 12 constellations, right? Okay, so when you get deeper into astrology, you understand that zodiac signs come from planets. So it's just like, oh, okay, so now that we already know that there's 12 zodiac signs, okay, so which planets do each of these 12 zodiac signs belong to? All right, that's cool. So now that we know that there's 12 zodiac signs, So because there are 12 zodiac signs, there are also something called 12 houses. So each zodiac sign rules over a particular house within astrology. The zodiac sign ain't nothing but a characteristic, if that makes sense. So, because why? Well, I first and foremost said that zodiac signs, they come from what? They come from planets. So pretty much each planet rotates throughout all 12 zodiac signs. But if zodiac signs come from planets, right, doesn't that mean that when they rotate throughout the 12 signs, they are not going to be in their own sign? Yeah. So that means that they have to operate in a different energy. Well, the planets are the actors. Zodiac signs are actually the roles in which need to be acted out. But the houses is the stage in which the actor is behaving upon. But when the planets change their zodiac signs, this is pretty much each planet playing musical chairs. Like when these planets play musical chairs, they are forced to operate in an energy that is not native to their own energy. Because we have 12 zodiac signs, well, when you divide it by 4, I say 4 because we have 4 different elements that rule over the zodiac signs. So each zodiac sign belongs to one element. And because it's divided by 4, that means that there's going to be 3 zodiac signs per element. So there's going to be 3 air, 3 fire, 3 water, and then 3 earth. So that makes 12 altogether. Basic math, right? The reason why I wanted to stress that they have to sit in the chair that's not their own energy is that this causes the planet to shift its own being. Each planet is forced to operate in an element that's not native to itself. I think I'm gonna repeat myself. But altogether, like, each planet is going to look different inside of the 4 elements because each planet has its own element already. So when you go mixing the planets up in different elements, this is going to give you different results for each person. So within astrology, the first house is what maps out your entire chart. Alright, so pretty much what I mean by that is the first house, literally where I have this graph right here circled at. Look at that. So the sign that is literally sitting in the first house would be Libra, because Libra was where the first house like started. So wherever you see the line that shows where it was started at, that's the indicator of what sign it is going to be in. And so typically with charts, there would be regular charts. Like this chart that I'm showing you guys right here is what is known as like an irregular chart. So in a regular chart is pretty much a chart whose houses don't align directly with one sign, so they fall over into multiple signs instead of aligning with one sign. So like a regular chart, it would just have one sign literally in its house. So that would be like, for this one, it would be Libra in the first house and Libra energy only, and there would be no spillage of any other sign. Alright, so with that being said, if the signs like in this particular chart was directly aligned with one house, then we could literally look at the first house and then we could directly know what sign is going to be in each house, because they would be in chronological order, and it would be in chronological order all the way up into the 12th house. So literally just from knowing someone's first house, you would be able to also know the rest of their houses and what sign each of them are sitting in. Remember how I said we have 12 houses, right? The same way we got 12 houses, we have 12 zodiac signs. Well, we know what the zodiac signs look like. They're just different behaviors. They're just different energies, right? So they're just different characteristics. They're just different roles that these actors are playing out. So when we look at the houses just represent the environment in which each actor is transiting or operating in. The houses represent each area of life a human will ever experience. But wherever sign you have in your first house, it will literally map out all your other signs because they go in chronological order. So therefore, if your first house is in the sign of Sagittarius, well, Sagittarius is the 9th zodiac sign. So the first house, Sagittarius, right? So 1 and 9, right? So what's your second house? Well, since Sagittarius was in your first house and Sagittarius is number 9, then number 10 has to be inside your second house. What is the 10th zodiac sign in astrology? It's Capricorn. So what's after Capricorn? Aquarius. So Aquarius is in your third house.